Crevonte, we head back to LSU for another wide receiver that's going to be drafted early. It is Brian Thomas Jr. How you feeling about it, Crevonte? Hey, just keep
Man,
breathing out there.
at this point, between LSU and Ohio State, well, LSU put out two at a time. It seems like every every couple years they put out two really good guys, and the more recent ones were, I was about to say Odell, but not Odell was the one before that one, but Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, and then before that it was Odell Beckham and it was Jarvis Landry, if I'm
Yep.
not mistaken. So just another pair of Tigers doing what they always do. Put up great numbers and look great doing it.
Yes, out of Walker, Louisiana, Jr., 6'3", 209, 9 and 3/4 hands, 32 and 3/4 arms. And Cravante, we got more measurables as he did run a 40. Got a 4.33 40,
Ooh.
1.5 10-yard split, 38.5 vertical, 10.6 broad jump, and 11 reps of the bench press. 2021 played in all 12 games, 2 receiving touchdowns. 2022, 13 games with 6 starts, 5 touchdowns, and third team all-American, second team All SEC, led the FBS with 17 receiving touchdowns in all games he played, which was 13 and 12 starts for 1,177 yards, 17.3 a reception. As mentioned, did lead the FBS with 17 receiving touchdowns.
And mind you, any given game, we couldn't tell if he was number one or the number two guy, which is again, it could add to what Jaden Daniels was able to do. Because when you got guys like Brian Thomas Jr. and Malik Neighbors on the outside, that's a lot of attention you got to give them to. So that kind of opens the door for Jaden Daniels to do more things. So Brian Thomas, depending on any given day, it could have been him, it could have been Malik Neighbors.
Strengths and weaknesses. What do you see when you see him? Obviously, the touchdowns obviously jump off the screen, and looks like somebody who's still getting better as well. Pro comp, strengths, weaknesses, all that good stuff.
All right, so let's see where to start. Exceptional ability to start and stop quickly, showcasing some agility and some control. Moves fluidly, enhancing route running capabilities. Let's see. Proves to be a formidable in the red zone targets. We love those. That's I was talking about that with Romo Doomsday because Brian Thomas is about 6'3" as well, and has the ability to high point the ball effectively. Has an impressive repertoire of releases, so it's kind of hard to get your hands on him. But also, he's not one to shy away from contact either. And and again, like the rest of the receivers, he has a great he has an extreme ability with ball tracking, and finding the ball down the field. Weaknesses, let's see. Um, Route breaks down on short and intermediate routes can be a little ineffective. I got a couple more. Footwork, coordination. So one of those things where he's got to get off right. You know what I'm saying? Below average, fighting through contact for a player his size, and can struggle to find and fight for the ball in traffic. And he's not the only one with fighting through traffic. Some guys got it, some guys don't. But you want to see those things more from a guy of his size. And I think you'll find my player comp a little interesting, Byron. Um, on the low end, Martavius Bryant. But on the high end, DK Metcalf. Because of his he can be aggressive and violent, getting off the line. um Not bad, like I said, pretty good with route running, um and pretty good with route running and tracking the ball downfield. um it's it's more so um fighting fighting for when let me say when the ball's in the air, not the at the line of scrimmage, more so when in the open field. But him being 6'3", you like I said, 50-50, it ain't really 50-50. Because he should out muscle his opponent, his DB opponent, way more often than not. Probably more so 60-40, if anything.
Where do you see him going? Is he wide receiver 4, or is he like kind of that next tier as we talked about kind of with the quarterbacks? And where could you see him going? You always need receivers, man.
Absolutely. And him running a 4-3 solidifies him going in the first round. Where does he go? Let's see. Probably towards the back end of the first round. But then again, we might see a run of receivers. Um, who picks after Denver?
I will tell you in 1 second. After Denver, we have Denver at 12, and then we have Vegas at 13, Saints at 14, Colts at 15, Seattle at 16, Jacksonville at 17, Bengals at 18, please God no,
Gosh, oh
and Rams at
gosh,
19.
oh gosh. No. Oh my
Yeah,
heavens. What
yeah.
get another LSU Tiger at receiver? That would be wild for Cincinnati. But hell, you don't want to go to Pittsburgh either. Because I know Pittsburgh right around that area
Yeah,
too.
you got Pittsburgh, Miami, Philly, so and Dallas all coming
Oh
up,
boy.
and Green Bay. So a lot
Please
of
take
places.
it before you get there. Please take it before you get there. But I think any of those teams would love to have him. Um, the Dolphins will be crazy. Like Cincinnati would be crazy. Yeah, somewhere in that late teens, oh gosh, early 20s. Just don't go to Dallas or Philly. My heavens.
Anything else on Brian Thomas Jr. we should be looking out for? I know you mentioned, is he maybe one of those boomer bust prospects potentially, where it could depend on where he goes?
Um, yeah, yeah. I guess I guess you could say that a little bit about everybody, but he's still figuring out. Like I'm not sure if he's aware of how big he is. I'm not sure if he's aware of his physical presence, which is why it kind of like it seems like it comes and goes. Like his line of scrimmage, he's ready to go. Like whatever you try to do to him, he got to counter for it. But down the field, you want to see a little bit more. But I don't think he's aware of what he actually possesses. So I would love to see a team unlock that for real. But hopefully it's not in the AFC North or the NFC East. But yeah, if he goes to the right situation and they really hone in on his talent, I think he'll be good. But this wide receiver class is really, really, really deep. I wouldn't be surprised if we get 5 wide receivers in the first round.
Yes, and 17 touchdowns. That is always going to jump out to people off the rip, and the size as well.
Absolutely. The stats are there and the tape don't lie. The LSU Tigers are usually a very offensively exciting team. And again, no the numbers along with the tape does not lie.
Tape doesn't lie, neither does the Flex Zone podcast, Crevonte. Only place give me those draft profiles how you want it.
When you need it.
We're gonna have more as we head towards the draft, and you already know the Flex Zone got you because we are the number one pick, baby. We'll be back with more.